I don't know about you, but there was always this one weird book that I saw in like middle and high school called Animorphs that haunted me absolutely. I never knew what it was about, but I always remember seeing kids on the cover turning into animals with no explanation. I've never known a person in real life who actually read these books. They just existed in the wild, on the floor, in the library, wherever. But apparently there was also an Animorphs TV show, and that's what we're going to be watching today. Again, I have no idea what this show is about, but apparently this is the synopsis. Animorphs is a popular middle grade science fiction book by K.A. Applegate about 5 teenagers who gain the ability to morph into any animal they touch, fighting a secret alien invasion by the parasitic Yeerks. The main series consists of 54 books with numerous companion books with chronicles, megamorphs, and alternamorphs. It's known for its dark themes, complex continuity, and iconic cover art that we talked about earlier. So we're going to be looking at the show, but first let's start with the intro itself. So basically everyone's like Beast Boy from the Teen Titans, but anyone they touch they could turn into. This episode we'll be looking at is called On the Run, and here's a description and warning. It's not going to make much sense at all, but here it is. After a terrifying close call in the Yeerk pool, the Animorphs decide to split up and gather more information. While Rachel and Cassie find out about the sharing and looking to the missing Tobias, Jake, and Marco make a startling discovery about Elfangor's disc. Elfangor's disc. It's all gonna make more sense when we watch it. All these words kind of remind me of like when you start a new fantasy game or book and it has all these foreign terminologies that just doesn't make sense to you when you first hear it, but then you get into it and you're like an hour in, 2 hours in, it's like, oh yeah, obviously the Yeerk pool, you have to get the Elfangor's disc, duh. Like it starts to make sense. That's how I'm feeling right now looking at the description. So let's get to it.
How's it going? Not bad. It's the afternoon and I haven't been chased by anything with 8 arms yet. But the day's still young.
So I'm assuming this is Jake and Marco. We see them at some kind of ambiguous retro futuristic internet cafe. Jake asks if he's seen Tobias and Marco says no, and he doesn't really seem worried at all. They kind of just glance over that, but all he wants to do is get some new wheels for his rollerblades.
Checking out some new wheels for my blade too. Did you know the cores of the new 5000 series are made of nylon?
It's not nylon, it's fiberglass.
No, nylon.
Trust me, it's fiberglass.
So kind of out of nowhere, all the computers get hacked in this cyber cafe, and this weird creepy message appears on the computer saying like, we have what you want. And I'm assuming they're talking about the Elfangor disc or whatever that is. So that's what I think they're talking about.
Price, 1 andalite for the disc.
Oh man,
What?
I lost the disc.
Oh, okay. Apparently Jake lost the disc. The main guy on the show looks really familiar. What is his name? Hold on. That's right. This is the guy from Cadet Kelly. Okay. I knew I wasn't tripping. I did a whole video on like classic Golden Age Disney Channel movies. Go watch that video if you haven't already. So Jake and Marco are deciding on a plan on how to respond to these people, and Jake just suggests sending them an email saying, hey, we don't have it, which is hilarious and the funniest thing ever. Could you imagine a villain hacking your system for like some really important documents or files, and you just shoot them an email reply saying, sorry, don't have it, send from my phone? Like, that is the funniest idea ever. Oh no, there's $1 million ransom, and the only way to get it back is to give them the Elfangor disc. But we don't have the Elfangor disc. Okay.
We'll send an email. We'll tell them that we lost the disc last night at the school so they know we're for real.
Whoa, cowboy. You want to contact them?
We gotta get the disc back.
If they think we're andalites, then why are they trying to get to us through computer messages?
They probably think we're trying to blend in as humans.
Yeah, well, they want to trade an andalite for the disc. Where are you going to get an andalite?
We don't need an andalite. We can fake them out. We can get the disc and be out of there before they even know we were there.
So now we cut to Cass and some other girl at school who's also asking if she's seen Tobias. And now I'm starting to wonder if something is wrong with Tobias because we haven't seen him this episode. And I don't know who Tobias is, but he's definitely missing.
Hey, have you seen Tobias?
Not since last night.
Where is he?
I don't know.
Jake does eventually decide to send the hacker of the villain an email saying to meet them at the mall in an hour. So that's what they're about to go do. We cut to some other girls who I think are hanging out after school. One of the girls abruptly goes to the restroom, but not to do what you think. I don't know why I put that in there. We get our first glimpse at an whatever it's called. She basically turns into a fly and she's kind of surprised. I guess this is her first time turning into a fly. I always thought they just turned into one animal and that was their ability. Like, hey, this is your spirit animal. You have a tiger, so you only can turn into tigers. But it seems like it's kind of a Ben 10 situation where if you encounter the animal, you can turn into the animal. That's kind of cool. As that's happening, I'm assuming Jake turned himself into a bearded dragon and got placed into a pet store display. And the girl that turned into a fly is basically being a fly on the wall and listening to some weird secret meeting happening in another room.
And as of this morning, the school entrance to the pool has been sealed off. If the Andalites try to use it again, it'll be as if it was never there. Construction of a new pool entrance is now underway.
This show must be serialized where each episode builds upon each other because I absolutely have no idea who these people are or what they're talking about, and that's on me. I came in the middle of the season, I guess. These episodes aren't numbered on YouTube. Look, it is what it is. But I can't lie, so far I'm in. So now it's Marco's turn to transform. Like 30 seconds earlier, we saw him shake hands with this mall cop. Then he goes into a restroom stall, the only place that you can legally do anamorphing, and it looks like he's trying to shapeshift into the guy, a human, into the mall cop. I thought they could only turn into animals, so it's weird to see him even try to attempt to turn into a person. Thank God it doesn't work. He probably would have got canceled.
Excuse me, sir?
Yeah.
You know, I gotta tell you, you guys are doing a bang-up job. Just a super job. Really. Keep up the good work.
So we get this whole scene. I guess the Animorphs are able to basically communicate with each other with telepathy. This big brute shows up in the pet store and Jake is communicating with him, telling him to place the disc in the iguana tank. And when Marco comes back, he swipes the disc and takes Jake, who is still a bearded dragon lizard, and leaves.
Grab the disc. It's on top of the tank behind you.
I'm sure we can reach some agreement.
Get us out of here.
This is essentially what triggers the mall cop to stop Marco for shoplifting and tell him to return the lizard to the store.
We're
Under arrest for shoplifting.
Marco, what's going on?
But he ends up outrunning the cop and Jake turns back into human somehow, somewhere, and Marco turned into a rat into his pocket. So I guess they escaped. But I'm guessing when he turned into a rat, he sat at a very, very important intergalactic Elysian disc thing near a trash can, which of course immediately got collected and thrown away by the custodian. So what do they have to do now? You guessed correctly, dumpster diving. So hopefully this should be an easy issue. Go to the trash can, get the item without issue. Oh my God, a trash truck is coming to empty the dumpster. Okay. So Marco gets dumped into a garbage truck and starts getting compacted with the trash. Oh man, wow, I hope Marco makes it out alive. We're just gonna have to see what happens to him.
Where have you been? We've been looking all over for you.
It stinks.
Oh, he made it out. No problem, actually. They didn't even really explain what happened or how. He just kind of shows up to the cafe with the other kids covered in trash. Whatever, I'm here for it. Let's just assume he turned into a rat or something. So now we've got the whole group together and she's giving them all a debrief on what she's found out during the fly on the wall session. The Andalites, I think I'm saying that right, don't kill me if I'm butchering it. The Andalites have a tracker on this device and basically are on their way now. So now we get this cool walking montage of these three alien people basically busting into the cafe to find the group who is already gone. So the kids get the smart idea to ditch the tracker in real time before getting caught, but I feel like they still haven't completed their objective. They have a fake disc. They didn't really accomplish anything so far. I think they just bought themselves maybe a little bit more time, but at the end of the day, they didn't gain anything. They didn't earn anything. Nothing additional happened. That's kind of the end of the episode. Was this episode bad? No, not at all. This is actually ironically the kind of stuff that I eat up as a preteen from like 10 years old to 13 years old. I used to love the slightly serious serialized drama shows like for kids, like Flight 29 Down. Some people like the show called like H2O with the Australian mermaid. So I definitely would have watched the show, honestly. And I definitely would have benefited for watching the whole season as a whole, like to get a good understanding and understand the lore and who these people are and what they want. Like, I'm not mad at that. They want to do one cohesive story, and I actually like that a lot. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was ready to rag on this show and rag on the books. I haven't actually read the book yet. Still, this is just a show, but this actually might be a hidden gem. You all should go watch it if you haven't before. What's some shows that you all watched that not many other people saw? Maybe I'll give them a try and talk about it here. Appreciate you all. Thank you so much.